Life finds a way.
Hi, welcome to Second Earth Rewind. This is Felipe Osario. So we have a really exciting episode today. Basically the reason why I decided to create this new segment called Second Earth Rewind is because in time I've noticed that we've had all kinds of different discoveries that has kind of, kind of panned out. Some of it even to my own surprise, to be honest with you. So I thought it'd be cool just to create a segment to highlight some of these findings, especially because some of these things are things that are just, I don't know, it seems like it's having a hard time getting some traction out there. But the main thing I want to talk about was seashells on Mars. Now, a long time ago, I don't know if you guys saw this episode, but a long time ago I posted an episode where I hinted at the possibility that there might be seashells on Mars. And now that a few years have passed, now that we've had newer technologies, I thought, why not just revisit the evidence? And it's hard to get academics on your side when you're talking about UFOs and aliens. And we had this one episode about Ichthyosaurus that I honestly thought we had a pretty amazing discovery. Still, nobody has talked about it. The one academic that did contact said, "Oh, I don't think some YouTuber would have found the biggest fossil ever." Of course, that was before the Smithsonian magazine published that Ichthyosaurus are actually 30% bigger than previously thought. So I'm curious what that paleontologist thinks right now. I don't know. But this is pretty amazing because it's hard to get academics on your side to review the evidence that you're trying to provide. But in this case, I said, you know what? I'm going to enlist the help of Google and maybe perhaps the other system, Bixby, that I have on this phone, and let's see what they think. And I think you'll find the results rather interesting. So let's take a look at how we went about doing this process. So here is this Mars image that you can access on NASA. I'll try to provide the links on the description below. And what ends up happening is when you zoom in, there's this really strange object that when you take a look, it kind of starts looking a little bit like a conch, right? So I went ahead and just took a few steps. I cropped the image right there, reduced the noise, went ahead and just brightened it a little bit, put some curves there just to kind of flatten out the image. And then I increased the size of it. Here is the image. And the last step, and this is really important for what we're about to do, is I extracted the outline of the image, as you can kind of see over here, so that the program that I'm going to use can recognize the object easier. So I'm basically just separating the object from the background. So let's go ahead and do that. There's the object and just cut off the edges a little bit. And the last step, boom, there it is. So I just added one extra layer and then put, it's called multiply. And that's just so that we can get a little bit more of the textures to come out. But look at that. I mean, that's pretty amazing, right? Okay, so if you believe that this may not be a seashell or conch that we discovered in Mars, well, why don't we go ahead and take this little artificial intelligence program, now this 2019, and let's see what this thing thinks. So I went ahead and I put a screen recording so you guys can see everything that's happening live right there. So let's check out if it gets the GoPro just as a test. I don't know what it's doing there, but okay, so it has some kind of digital device. So now that you guys saw that it worked with the GoPro, we're gonna go ahead and try it. And this is kind of interesting because we're taking a picture of a picture. So it's, it's a little iffy, but let's see how it does. Haha, look at that. So it's got snails, which is kind of interesting because it has a conch-like configuration. Okay, well, interesting. So its first choice was a snail. Maybe we can try this one more time. Okay, let's try it again. Let's just try it one more time. I'm going to try it in profile to see if it changes the results real quick. And... we got an ultrasound. Now this is kind of interesting because what I noticed with this is that outside of getting things like snails, before it was getting like conch-like objects, it would often go to like an ultrasound of a baby, as if to say that whatever pattern is being detected is some type of like organic life-like pattern. I could be wrong, but it's just kind of a hunch. So let's go ahead and just try that let's try that third time and see if we can get a different result. And remember, this is a picture of a picture that has been enhanced, so it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to get this. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, can we crop that? Let's try cropping that. What do we got here? Yeah, likes that baby. And see, once again, it's always giving us something organic. Once again, it gives us this weird kind of, I don't know, gecko face, as if it's to say that whatever it's detecting is, though this is inanimate, it's a pattern of life in a way. All right, let's go back. All right, just for giggles, we're gonna do one last time just for fun. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do one last time. This is numero cuatro, number 4. Let's try this one. So there it is, guys. There is the conch that I was seeing earlier. You know, I had to do it 4 times to get the results that I had seen earlier. That was being done more consistently, but definitely, as you can see, it's picking up conches, all kinds of you know, things that are alive, that are organic essentially. So now that we saw that Google Lens can take this object from Mars and essentially identify it as an organic type of conch-like object. Perhaps a snail, perhaps a baby's face. I don't know. Probably because it's so blurry. But you know, you guys can try it yourselves. I mean, I'm telling you that when I did use Bixby earlier, it did give me a result that showcased a shell. So now you have to ask yourself, you know, if I'm taking a picture of something from Mars and I'm simply extracting that image, and then I'm putting artificial intelligence programs to try to recognize what that image is, and it gives me shell-like objects, snail-like objects, is that not a form of confirmation? I mean, I think it's pretty difficult to identify pictures of pictures that are being in a computer screen, but then to actually identify the exact object that I had initially believed this could be, which is not just any object. We're talking about something that would literally prove on the spot that some form of multi-celled organisms were indeed living at Mars at some point. I mean, this is kind of big, you know, if this can be confirmed outside of these 2019 artificial intelligence programs. Anyways, that is the episode for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys back soon. This is Felipe Osorio, signing out.